everybody and welcome to my channel. You Got Me in Stitches. I'm Anna. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week, and for those of you that celebrate Easter, a very happy Easter to you. Okay guys, I will start off with telling you what I am wearing, and it's clothing. But this particular clothing is New Look 5642, which is this one here. And if you guys follow me regularly, you know that I had a little bit of a journey with this top. So I still like it, even though it is a wearable mock-up, and I like the fabric. But yeah, I mean, I won't tell about too much because I went through the reasons why I had a few issues with constructing this in a previous video. Okay, so I have my cup of tea and my cute little rooster mug. In the same usual thing, I got the traffic and the noise, the beautiful birds singing, I have the sunshine, and yeah, you couldn't have wished for a better day for filming. I have been out here today for like forever, and yeah, it's just like so far I filmed a few minutes and it's been like a couple of hours. So today, if you guys are interested, and yes, okay, so the patterns that I'm going to be talking about today have just slipped off. I don't know why. I guess just the way I had them precariously sat on the chair beside me. Yeah, so I have completed 3 vintage patterns that I have finished stitching up this week. So if that is something that you're interested in and you'd like me to tell about it, then follow me. Let's go. I have moved this camera around quite a few times because of that beam. I hope it doesn't interrupt too much. Okay, first up, Simplicity 9155, and it's a 1970 pattern, and I decided to make this view here. And I had some vintage fabric already in my fabric collection, which is this one here. It's a polyester. It's kind of a mid-weight, and yeah, it's got quite a little bit of malleableness to it, so it's not too structured. Hey guys, so first up I'm going to start off with the collar. So the collar is a single stand, as you can see there. I machine stitched one side, and then on the inside I have hand stitched, and again it came together all alright. Also I installed a vintage metal teeth zipper. I think it was about 22 inch in length, and as you can see there, the stitching on the outside, I have noticed on a few vintage garments that when they install the zippers you can see the stitching, so I kind of wanted to recreate that as much as possible and keep as much of this vintage. So I got the vintage fabric and the vintage zipper. The only thing that's not vintage was the thread. Okay, it has a raglan sleeve installation there. I did short sleeve, and on the sleeve hem I double folded and used a regular zipper length just to finish that off neatly. So for the hem I just did again what I did for the sleeves. I double folded and used a regular stitch length, so that is nice and neat and tidy. And if you guys would follow me on my deconstruct reconstruct on a lot of the vintage clothing, that's primarily what they did, just double fold or sometimes just single fold and just a regular stitch length. Also I have left the edges all raw there, and again a lot of vintage clothes were left as is. If the fabric didn't fray, they didn't usually finish the edges, and if they did, they may have done a single line of stitching or a zigzag stitch, and again before serges were invented that's all they could have done anyway. And again, this fabric doesn't fray, and if looked after and gone through the laundry all okay, again it's going to last for a very, very long time. So also, just to finish off with this frock, on the back it has 2 back darts approximately 10 inches in length. I think you guys can see them there. right there. So it just gives a little bit of gentle detailing in the back. Okay, so I will show you my second make. Okay, so the other one is a Simplicity 6329, and I did this view here. I omitted the tie detail on the back, and this is the fabric that I decided to go with, and again it is 100% polyester. So this pattern is the year of 1974, and we start off with the neckline. So in the inside I installed some white bias binding just to add a little bit of structure to that neckline, and also it has a little cutout detail as well on the front there. It's not exaggerated as that's just me doing that. So yeah, it's a sleeveless version, and on the inside of the arm side it has a facing. Never installed those before, so again regular stitch length throughout, and yeah, that came together really well. It has 7 panels to the skirt. Also the front there, I don't know if you can see the detailing and shape along the bust area. I'll show you actually on the pattern. I think it will come up a little bit better. It just has that little detailing there. Hope you guys can see that okay. On such a busy fabric, it's hard to get the detailings out. Again, on the inside I have left all the raw edges as is, because again with this polyester fabric it doesn't fray, and it's slightly lighter weight than the other one. This one comes to knee length on me. It does not have any installation of zippers or buttons or anything. It just goes over the head and then just falls down. Not literally falls down, drapes down as you put it over your head. Again, on the hem I have double folded it over and done a regular stitch length all the way around. So yeah, this one came together really well. Considering this one did not come with the instructions, which wasn't too bad, so looking at the picture it's kind of like reconfiguring jigsaw puzzle pieces, isn't it? So I laid the traced out patterns on the table and made sure I configured the panels to the correct one. So you'd have the front panel, you have the front side panels, the back side panels, and then the back panels. I know it sounds a bit confusing. And also on the back it actually had a back seam. I don't know if I would do that for the back bodies. There's not really a reason why that should be there, so I think if I made this pattern again in a different fabric I will omit that so there is no seam running down the back. Thankfully you can't really see it because it's such a busy pattern. You can now, the light's coming so you can see it clearly. See, just call me a hypocrite now, isn't it? Yeah, so this is quite a fun fabric and I like the style and the shape. So on the front detailing, which you can see here, this, all I did was double fold. So I folded once and then I did a regular stitch length and then folded again and another regular stitch length. Now because this didn't have the instructions with it, I don't know if that's what it would have called for, but I kind of was just judging on the picture on the front and to get that detailing. So it's very subtle, but just enough that it's going to create this detailing. Also, the other thing I omitted was around the neckline and the arm side. They used a contrast white, I don't know if it was fabric or binding, but I didn't want to do that, so I only did the binding on the inside, and that was more for the structural purpose, just to keep that neckline in shape, and just left the arm side as is, but there would have been a contrast all around the neckline and arm size. But again, all in all, it came together really well considering there was no instructions. So okay, now on to the third make. Okay, so the third pattern is a McCall's and it's 3608, and the year of this one is 1973. I made this view here. Yeah, and you know what I'm going to say about this one? This one was a bit of a journey, so I will talk through with that and tell about a few issues that I had. Okay guys, so the first thing that you will notice with this one is I have swapped up the fabric. So I've got this 100% cotton lightweight fabric with these spots on, and if you recall, is last time I thought I was going to use sort of the semi psychedelic sort of aqua greeny bluish fabric, but it was too sort of 1960s looking, and this is obviously a 1973 fabric, and it just would not have worked with the style of frock that was shown there on the pattern. Okay, so I had a bit of a journey with this one, guys. If I just pan in a little bit closer for you, there you can see a facing neckline, and it joins the V detailing there. Well, it's a set size pattern, so you just cannot go wrong even when you're tracing it out. So I have the facing here. Yeah, so it wasn't lying flat, it actually came out too small, which the strange thing was, when I traced it out, cut it out, I actually made it just a little smidge larger than what it was. I don't know why, but yeah, it was still too small. Okay, so I will show you what I did. So there is the V-neck, and I have left it open, so there's nothing going and connecting that V. So what I have done instead is, for the first time ever, I have made bias binding, and so I have bias bound the entire neckline, and in the back there is a zipper, and also on both the arm sides I used the bias binding. Yeah, so the neckline has come together a whole bunch better, and it lays so much flatter than the other one would have had the installation had been carried out, but again it still wasn't long enough to get to the end of where the zipper meets. Okay, so as I just mentioned about the zipper, let's start talking about the zipper. So it is a non-metal teeth. It's still a vintage zipper, and I don't know what they would have made that out of, a nylon? Anyway, so I think again that was a 20 inch, 22 inch, so relatively easy installation on that one. Also on the back neckline, it has, where are they? There they are. A couple of little darts. They're about approximately 4 inches long. Also on this frock I have French seamed everything. So there on the shoulder seam, hope you guys can see that okay. Yeah, so French seams throughout, as you can see there. Also on this one, along the bust area, it has 2 darts. So one that kind of goes across, and a very, very long one that goes quite a bit down. It was approximately about 12 inches in length. Also on the back, it has 2 fisheye darts. They're not very wide, so the fisheye darts just gently nip in the waistline, just to give it that slight little nipped in look. Also for the hem, for the bottom, I also used the self-made bias binding in the same fabric. So it's had a little bit of bulk there, but bulk in a good way, just to add a little bit of weight, just to hold that down. And I think that works really well. One thing I do next time is, this one has a centre seam all the way down to the hem, and again I didn't pattern match, so my spots are a little bit off, and that was because the V, but I have made tops and other clothes before with omitting the centre seam, even though it may have a V-neck detailing. So I think next time I will do that on this outfit. I will make another one. So overall with this make, I am pleased, with the exception of the neckline in that facing, but because that went a little bit awry, had it have gone correctly, I wouldn't have been able to think of making the self-made binding, and the self-made binding came together really well, and I stitched in the ditch along the neckline and both the arm size, and I think it gives a little bit of a better finish as opposed to had the facing had been attached as the instructions originally had said. Now I know the V isn't connected, and again next time I make this pattern I will connect it with the bias binding, but I'll see how I get on. Okay guys, so all there is left for me to say is have a wonderful day. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and to you it looks really lovely, really sunny, but I have been out here for about 5 hours, maybe a smidge over, in trying my best to film in between all sorts of chaos that's been going on. There's just been absolutely everything, and it's not just traffic, just a whole bunch of other things. Easter, I don't know. So please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the vintage patterns, and any other suggestions that you can come up with that next time perhaps I could do something a little bit different. It's good to play around and experience different journeys. Sometimes if things come together that's really great, but sometimes if they don't come together that's okay, because then that will move you on to a different journey, and you wouldn't have gone down that journey had the original thing worked out. But yes, so please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful week. And also check out, there will be a video midweek, possibly Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay, thank you so much for watching guys, take care.